Yeah, right. Welcome to Tea and Tequila. I forgot, yeah. Welcome to Tea and Tequila with Shanequa and now we have a special guest, Fola.
Hey.
Yes. Now, Fola, I do not want to say this wrong, but your actual name is Fola Shade?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Woo! That was like, I promise you, I'll be studying that like in the mirror and everything. Like I'll be like, let me not say this wrong because I don't feel so bad.
Yay.
Okie dokie. So of course, Dina, y'all know Dina does not get to know what the episode is about, but of course I let our guests know so that way she could come somewhat prepared, you know, maybe have some type of answers, maybe to have just some type of thoughts about the topic that we got going on. So today's topic is being a whole vibe. So just being, you know, that boss, that goddess, that being in your energy. Yes, so just being in that, just walking in that, being empowered in that. And so yes, we're gonna talk about that.
Let me say real quick, I am not a whole vibe because I just got off work 5 minutes ago.
That's a vibe.
Right, that is a vibe. That is a whole boss vibe. Like literally, she's the epitome of a boss vibe. Like, for real, like. I just declined. Hey, bye, Shirley. Bye, see you later. walked out, walked in. Same time. Yeah. So I love that.
It's okay. Y'all ain't gonna catch me slipping again.
Right. So for tonight, since she just got off work and like it's just been crazy and the temperature was like 105, 106 today. I think we can all agree that today has just not been a vibe. Like today has just not been a vibe. So she does not have her tequila. I don't have my tea, and I didn't even tell Fola to bring anything. So I mean, we out of sorts today. That's okay though.
We're gonna be relying solely on our vibes.
Yes, so solely on our vibes. I'm glad that we're all aware of it. Okay. So the first thing that I want to talk about, because it is so important, especially in the Black community, is your crown. Your crown. Not only is it your crown chakra, but also your crown's on top of your head. And so for you guys, you both chose to have locks. And I love that. I honor that. And so I definitely want to dig into that. So Fola, we can start with you. Like, why did you choose to have locks? And then can you kind of go into what your definition of locks versus dreads is? Because a lot of people aren't aware.
Show them, please. Show them.
Yes, because they locks are so gorgeous. Oh my god!
I need a wash.
They look good.
Right, but they be killing it with these locks. I swear, they be every time they show up, and it's oh my, shut it down. But yeah, so please tell us about that.
All right. So really, to be honest, how I started my locks was I literally did not want to do my hair. And like I was like, I can't like keep doing this. Like I love versatility. I love coloring my hair. I love wigs and box braids and everything. And then one of my past friends, she asked me to lock my hair, and I was like, no, I'm gonna look like a man. So I was like, tripping. Yes, I was tripping. But really, like the first year, I kind of grew out my hair, and I wanted to do like have like a certain length before I started it. And after that, I kind of like really embraced my curl pattern. And I like, honestly, you really do look within. Like I started like really looking at my features in the mirror and be like, that's not masculine at all. That's feminine. Like that's my unique face. And because I'm like African, I kind of like also one thing is there was not a
special guest.
He's a vibe, I guess.
There was not a lot of like people who had locks at the time. So I had like to gain inspo, like, you know, it's kind of like one of those things when you see it, you're like, you kind of get more inspired, and plus I'm a visual person. Hey!
Go that way.
So I like really started looking at lots of lock styles.
Yeah.
Like I started like looking at like kind of like the future of what my hair would be.
Yes.
And I started honestly following a lot of like models with locks, following a lot of like inspo things. And so that kind of like, I guess, fueled the turn of me getting it. So probably within the year, like 1 year after I started my locks, I was like, this is me.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, after that, I just like really started like going within, and there's like a whole big old long spiel. I won't take a lot.
Okay.
But there's a whole spiel like redefining Black beauty, redefining like what it means for me individually, what it means for me that I look beautiful, that I feel beautiful. Like this has been honestly the longest my hair has ever been since like 19. So like I'm like, dang, I got some length.
Right.
So confident and so like refreshed because it's yours.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like it's not something I gotta buy. And I mean, I had my stages of getting the wigs and stuff, but honestly, like it's just like a growth of really like loving yourself.
Yes.
And I like love me to like even more now that I have my own.
I
don't
love
know.
that. I love that.
All
I
of
really
that.
do.
All of
Respect,
that.
mad respect. And I love how people are really just coming into it. Like a lot of people are doing it now. And I just like her. We just met her teacher today. Her teacher's got locks, and I absolutely love that. I just love and honor it so much. And so I'm proud of both of y'all for making that decision and how important it was. Like how important was that for you? Like I mean, like you said, you didn't even really want to do it. You just didn't want to do your hair.
Yeah.
Right. But like once you came into that, and you had that understanding of what it was, you know, like once you had that self-love and that self-empowerment.
Right.
So like what did that mean to you?
So for me, like, I honestly, instead of like putting up this kind of like wall from like the distance between other people, I like unmasked everything. I'm like, you know what, this is me. I don't want to put any more walls up. I don't want to put any like, and I know people's like, oh, it's vanity, but it really doesn't matter what you look like. I mean, think about it. You go into job interviews, you gotta have a certain, you know, fit. You gotta have a certain attire, and it's like, for me, it was like, you know what, this is who I am. Like, this is like, I just let go of the wall, really, and like,
you gave me chills. You gave me chills, girl. Like she was empowered by her hair. Like I love that. I really do. I love that.
And it's like, you know, a lot of times, like, especially being young and, you know, kind of being like the different, you know, Black, and, you know, it's kind of like, oh, what is people gonna say, or what is people, you know, especially being in Oklahoma and stuff like that, it's different. And so I just kind of was like, can I cuss? I was like, fuck it. I was like, fuck it. You know what I mean?
YouTube is nobody
I was just like, you know, fuck it. And really, to be honest, like even, you know, dealing with the darkness of me, like a lot of people won't admit, like, okay, I have insecurities. Dang, yeah, my natural hair at the time was not down my back. No, I didn't take care of my hair. Like, no, you know, I was super lazy in putting the self-love within me. And so, like, a lot of that was just kind of like, you know what? I'm going to put the energy and the time. I'm going to YouTube a lot of stuff. I'm going to, like, invest in myself. And I don't know. It's, even though it's just hair, it means so much.
Girl, it's not just hair.
I feel like
it's not just hair.
It's an empowerment that causes you to glow from the inside
out.
And I feel like I noticed that more people were attracted to me.
Definitely. It's so true.
As soon as they locked up, it was like,
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, who, me? I got makeup on.
Exactly.
It's definitely a vibe.
Right. And I feel like that's a lot of like most of us, like, we wear kind of like simpler makeup. Like we don't do too much, like, you know, from our styles and stuff. But don't be looking like that. Sometimes they get a lot of with the eyeshadow or whatever, but it still be like, it still looks kind of like simple, but so like profound. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes a huge statement. I love that. But at the same time, it is simple still. But
I feel like we can't do too much once we get the locks because it will start to take away.
Right, it does. It does. It takes away from that.
It definitely does. So we have to simmer it down just a little bit.
And that like fuels you to go within, because I mean, let's just be real. I like me some lashes sometimes, but it's like, now it's like, you know what? I got short eyelashes, but I'm fine still, regardless of, you know, putting on extra. You know what I mean? So,
big deal. Okay, so Dina, your turn. Like, what made you start this lock process?
Mine's is weird because I'm generally, I had a spiritual awakening. And I remember having what I thought was like a dream. And there was this Amazonian woman with auburn locks and this like dream. But I had just had like a quantum healing done and a past life regression. And so I'm like, is this like after effects of like being hypnotized? And I knew that that woman was me.
Okay.
There was also like this giant white dog, furry dog standing next to her, and when I was a kid, I had an experience of seeing this same dog, just white as day, and so I knew it was somehow connected. And so I was just like, okay, I need to lock my hair. Like that was right.
Yeah, like that quick.
Right.
Yeah,
that quick.
Wow,
And
that's
the
crazy.
same day, February 11th.
Wow.
Same day, I went ahead and locked
That's
it.
wild. Okay. And then she also has her kids' hair locked too. Yes. And I love that. Yeah, right. You do too. Yeah. I love that y'all are empowering them and getting them to be their truly natural selves and loving that about themselves. You know,
and before anyone says something, they chose to be locked. Mommy got locked first. They loved how, because shrinkage is real.
Yeah.
Shrinkage is real.
Yeah.
And they saw how mommy's hair looked longer, and saw how mommy felt confident with her hair. And they didn't like getting their hair combed either. So the oldest one first came to me and was like, I would like my hair like that. So we did her hair like that, and once the youngest one saw that the oldest sibling was doing it, then she decided to do the same.
Oh,
Yes.
I love it. I love it. And hey, little one's next. Little one's next. Hey, gotta get him. Yes. Okay, I love that. And so like, I mean, you made that decision right then, and I know you put a lot of thought into everything. So like, what kind of thought process did you have for that? Like, how important was that? I mean, because it was a dream, but of course we know how dreams are so important to us. So like, how important was that to you?
It was shocking because I do put a lot of thought into
Right.
everything.
So for it to be the same day, like you said, like I'm like, that ain't Nina. Like that's not
me at all.
No. Like you gonna get a 2-week period processing.
I'm
Like
gonna be YouTubing videos
every day. Right. Like saying that.
But it was just something with everything else crazy that was going on in my life at that time. It felt right.
Right.
And once I got a few twists in, and I was like, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, this is kind of cute.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It does shrink up just a little bit too still, so I'm like, okay, well, but still.
Right.
It's real good.
Yes.
And it just, I looked at myself different. I remember getting on Snapchat, Facebook stories, and all of that, and like posting like, this is the new me, y'all.
Ooh.
And feeling empowered by that decision. Because I looked at all these wigs. I was a serial wig buyer. Like $1,200 worth of wigs, and I'm looking at them like, dang. But it felt right.
Right.
It was an inner standing that's what I was supposed to do.
Right. Okay. So let me ask you this then: do y'all regret your decision?
Absolutely not.
No. Okay. And I
couldn't
love that.
picture not
You
having
think
my-
sooner.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
I feel like that too.
Yeah.
I should have did it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 year in lock time is like 3 years in regular time. So no.
Okay. And I love that for y'all. Let me see if I got anything else down here. Oh, we did not get into the definition between locks and dreads. So who wants
There's
to
nothing dreadful about it.
It's nothing dreadful about it. Okay, I like it. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Yeah,
Now, I mean, I've heard a deeper explanation of that. I can't remember somebody, like dreads. This ain't no, okay.
Yeah.
Like you ain't
Power in the
gotta.
things you say.
Yeah. Right. And it's
That's
true.
a word.
Yes.
Yeah,
And if I keep referring to my head as dreads, which is dreadful,
Right.
it's not gonna prosper. It's not gonna grow. It's not gonna do what it's supposed to
Right,
do.
speaking life into that.
Yeah,
exactly.
I love that
It
because it
locks
grows.
up.
It
It
grows.
has energy. Your
It's
hair is
right.
energy.
It's,
Yes.
yes,
You know?
absolutely.
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? No matter how you look at it from a spiritual perspective,
Yeah.
from a biblical perspective,
Right.
because Goliath got his hair cut, and what happened to him?
Yeah,
baby?
same to
Man,
Same
same
to me.
He had lots of food. And that's exactly why he lost his empowerment. requirement because he cut them locks. That was his
I've been
crown.
working since 7, y'all.
Right, yeah.
My mom was a minister.
Yeah. Hey, your mama gonna get you for that one.
Sorry, mama.
Dang.
No, but for real though, when you think about it, you know that had to come from a place of ill intent because your hair locks up during the lock process.
Yes.
How and where does it dread?
Right.
But at some point, people saw dreads as a no-no.
Yeah.
You know, that's not professional.
Right.
Exactly.
Why would you still do something so dreadful?
And it's
Exactly.
still shunned. It's
Exactly.
still like blasphemous. It's still
Yeah.
you know like all these things. It's
I don't
still,
know, girl, because
That's
I
what I'm
done
saying,
had
like-
so many YT people.
Man.
Like, oh my gosh, your hair is so cute.
Right,
Yeah.
and they be like that, but of course it's one of those things where you know they kind of gotta. I'm not gonna say that because I'm not gonna say that, but it's still one of those things to where like schools are still you know trying to kick kids out for that and stuff like that. And, like it just I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that at all. Like I feel like people should just be themselves in whatever capacity that they want to. Yeah,
Because
definitely.
you can do this hair if you feel like
Yeah.
Right.
you need to be
And I-
Period.
cut, you
And
know?
I think it's culturally groundbreaking now. Now it's like you even see some white people have locks. Some, you know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
depends on the area.
Yeah, they do be
Yeah,
looking
and
good.
look, it's fine. So
Yeah.
it's like I think it's like becoming more culturally acceptable because guess what? We're going within.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know what? They're inspiring me to look within. They're inspiring me for a change, whatever that is. And it, I mean, just like you said, it's spiritual, but it's also, you know, not spiritual, where
Right.
it's like, you know, hey,
Yeah.
I can do a change too to my hair.
Yeah.
So
You
yeah.
know, be a part of that vibe.
Yeah.
Right. And like with the black community, we're so creative.
Exactly.
We're so creative, and to see all these different styles that they be wearing, that other people be wearing whenever it comes to their locks, oh my gosh. It's just every time she show up, I just be like, dang, girl, like yes, I be hyping her up, like, bruh, what did you know? What did you know, girl? What did you know? But yeah, so I love that, and I definitely think that other cultures are so inspired by that, you know, which of course there is that whole still our stuff type of thing, you know, we ain't gonna address that.
Yeah,
But
I'm okay with them still in that part because
Like-
some of them be looking good.
Right, they do
Yes,
look good. Some of them be looking good.
I had a client come up and through here with some locks, and she was a white girl, and they were bomb.
Yeah.
They were neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were. She had different colors and
Yes.
threads, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Right.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
all
Right.
of that.
Right.
I'm like, dang.
Love it.
Okay, you
Love
go
it.
out, girl.
Right. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna get into is outfits. Our outfits, because I mean, you guys have seen our TikToks, you know, and you guys need to go ahead and go follow, go follow Fola. That's a mouthful. Follow Fola. But okay, so Fola, can you tell them, and we'll go ahead and put that like in the link somewhere.
Thanks, boo.
Yes.
Follow me on at Fiercest Finest on Instagram, TikTok. Fola Sade Ogutomi. I know you ain't gonna be able to spell it.
No,
we got
but
you.
we got you regardless.
Yes,
so
yes.
yes.
And so please go follow everybody. Go follow everybody on everything. Okay, we need to hype this up. But if you have followed us, then you would see the unique outfits, the unique like.
Not
Oh
today.
my God, not today,
Bruh.
but not
T-shirt and some shorts.
Because I had a tiger outfit, please.
But what I tell you,
But I love it though.
right, and we are definitely gonna have an episode where we come through with it,
It
where
will.
we come through with it. But we really do be like, I don't know what it is, but for me personally, like it's always been like my mom. She was really big into clothes. She was big into name brand. I'm not a name brand person at all, but that's just because she kind of, you know, like kind of traumatized me from that. But no, like I'm super. I'll go to a thrift store, consignment shop any day, and I promise you, mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, my fit gonna be
Yeah.
fire. Like if you buy me some J's, I'm gonna take that back to the store and go buy about 6 outfits and 2 boots
Right.
and shoes and that. Like
Yeah.
for real. But it for me the importance of my attire, because I was made fun of when I was younger, and I was kind of picked on a little bit just because I would have such a unique outfit choices or whatever. And so now for my kids, I feel that that's so important for them. Like, and yes, they be trying to pick out stuff, and my anxiety be like, whoo, but I let them do them. Like they'll tell me, they'll be like, Mom, this just feels like me. And I'm like, dang, like, okay, like how am I supposed to shun that? Like I'm supposed to shun that. But yeah, so like I know me and Dina for a fact, we went to high school in heels and dressed to 10. So like I can already tell. I already knew that was a thing that you did. Like I figured that. Like we would show up and show out in high school. Like it don't even matter. Like literally on the daily. But yeah, and so like for y'all, how important is that for your outfit to be you? For your outfit to be like so, I don't know, creative, so unique to you?
So for me, it is very important. I remember I actually almost won best dress in school.
Damn.
Yeah, my Krisha beat me.
Did she? Oh yeah, my Krisha came
she had
with
a
it.
very unique style too.
She did.
And I was known as the girl who wore heels every day. And it's similar to you. Like,
same.
Growing up poor and stuff, there's very limited ways for you to express yourself. But when it comes to being able to express yourself visually, it's art.
Yes.
It's art. Can I put this pattern with this pattern and pull it off? Can I put this color with this?
Yes.
How do I feel today? Can I express that through my clothing?
Oh yes.
It becomes a method of identity.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
us,
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely. I love that. And it makes you more of a vibe.
Yeah.
Honestly, it just brings so much out of you, and that's really when you glow. You know, like right now, if we came dressed to impress, like I already know that we would just be like, hello, like hello, because it just brings that out of you. You just feel that confidence, like you know what I'm saying? Okay, so for you, like, how did you come into your own style? Because you have such an interesting style. Like I love it. Like when she came, we all like met at the sneaker ball, and when she came with this dress, y'all, I was like, bruh, oh my gosh. She walked in and shut shit down. Like, for real. Which of course, that's just what we do.
Right.
That is literally what we do. Like, I mean, but, so tell us about your style. How did you come into that?
So, really just, I grew up poor, and yes, poor on the nice side. There is a poor on the nice side, by the way.
Yeah.
And so, like, that was a way of expressing myself. I always was different. I always had, like, 10 bangles. I cut off my jeans so they'd flap in the wind. I mean, like, I just did everything. And that was, like, a part of, like, my psychology inward. Like, I had to express myself through my clothes. And so, like, I don't know. I just really just started. That's kind of how I got the understanding that I knew I wanted to be a model when I grew up.
Yeah.
And like I knew that if I can be so different and like nobody like has the same thing, it was like my motto. I had to be different. I had to not be like anybody else.
Right.
And like of course my mom didn't have it like, you know, we didn't have like name brand stuff and I didn't have all that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take your clothes, I'm gonna put a belt around it, I'm gonna snatch my waist, I'm gonna wear these throwback shoes from the 90s.
Yeah.
Like I just like being inspired by like other decades and like I don't know, I kind of feel like it's just something that has always been instilled in me.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I just have this artistic way about me and how I do it.
Yeah, right.
That inside shining out.
Yeah.
I love that.
And side note, we are all three models. Like they
I'm not a model.
well,
Yeah,
she is.
Yes, she is.
She just doesn't think she is because she ain't on the way.
Pics.
Right. She ain't on.
Instagram, Facebook.
Like, bruh, like she is a model. Just. I would say that's the thing. So she thinks that because she ain't got paid that she's not a model, but no, she is definitely a model. She's a model for the community. She's a model in her way that she goes about life and her boss vibes. She's a model in that way, but also she is a model. Like she do be taking model pictures, whether she gets paid for it or not. She still like she do for real. We all do. And
so if any agencies out there, y'all
right,
heard them,
book us.
do I need to?
Come on, face.
I will say that like you can definitely like make something happen. Just like on her phone, like she can make a picture pop, and she is like when we go out, she's the one taking pictures because she just knows what to do.
Yeah.
With Fola, Yeah, definitely. But behind and in front of the camera. Don't let her play you, because when she gets to like when she gets to go, she be getting them angles. She know her feeling it. She be killing them angles.
Okay, they're making me blush.
Yeah, like for real. And y'all know
Because
how I
if they
feel.
saying it, then
Right. And y'all know how I feel about chocolate blushing. Y'all know how I feel about it. But
Oh my God.
like right, chocolate cherry is my favorite.
that is the color.
Like-
Black cherry, that's
Period. Yes. Okay, so I forgot what I was about to ask you, but hey, that's all right. No. Okay. So I was gonna say about the model thing. Fola, like your pictures, like she is an actual, like I believe paid model, right? Like she does this, right? Her pictures be insane, like insane. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like when you just have that. When you have it, you have it. Like I literally be getting Naomi Campbell vibes. Like that's literally what I be getting from her pictures. Like literally everybody, it's so funny because like I've talked to a few people, you know, because of course we don't know it, but we run in a lot of the same circles. You know, it's crazy. I don't know how, but we just do. It's Tulsa. It's so small.
Yes.
But so I've talked to several people. I'm like, hey, like you know, Fola, whatever. And they be like, yeah, like I feel like she's untouchable. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, and I'm like, and it's so crazy, like, cause so like our friend, our mutual friend who actually introduced us. He introduced us. He's so shy, so he introduced us through Facebook. He didn't even introduce us in person. But I just like kept like liking her pictures, and I would talk about her a lot, which is what I did with Dina too. And I did that with my other friend or whatever. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like they're so empowered. Like, they're such goddesses. Like look at that aura, look at that energy, like whatever, right?
I would say her energy is very safe. Because y'all, I have such bad anxiety, like my anxiety is so bad. I have to take breaks in between my clients because you soak up massages, you soak up all their energy and their anxiety. And so coming straight from a client into like trying to clean up and then meet a new person, her energy feels very safe and very anxiety. So it doesn't shine. You might not, you can see it through camera, but it's a whole vibe.
Right. Yes. No. Like for real. Yeah. And that's why I was like not worried about it because like you know like I introduced them today and like they've met each other before, but I'm not gonna speak on that. Like it was so. I'm not. And she was.
And
Right, oh my God! So we not gonna do that. Let's just say we don't really remember that night.
It was a sneaker ball, so we
So we were just too busy enjoying the night. So they like briefly met, but didn't really get to know each other, right? Because we was just vibing. And so today they actually got to meet and stuff like that. And the whole day, like I'm just like I'm not even worried about it because like she's a vibe, I'm a vibe. And it's gonna work. I was like, I'm not even concerned, like at all. And that's exactly what it is. Period. So then the other thing, what I was gonna say was about your modeling was like I said, people think that you're untouchable.
Wow.
Like, and it's just crazy because it's like I said, we run into a lot of the same circles. Like we know a lot of the same people. And dude, our mutual friend, he was only a Facebook friend to both of us.
Wow.
Like he didn't know either one of us personally. I got to know him whatever a little bit, but like he didn't know us personally or whatever. But he was just like, yeah, she's such a goddess, like all this stuff like that, and like just hyping her up. And he was like, oh, I'd be so lucky if I got to meet her, something like that.
Like that.
Yeah, no, like was he not? Was he not? No, like legit, you know what I'm talking about. Yes. So you know what I'm talking about. Yes. So he was literally like, oh my God, that would be like the best day of my life. Like I was like, bro, calm down. I'm like, she is a person. Like, but it's so funny though because like I wasn't intimidated until I actually met her. And it's so funny because our first day meeting, like she wasn't even dressed or anything. She had got done jogging.
Bruh.
She was sweaty. Like, period. But her energy be like, it's just, it's intense. It is intense. Yes, she does. She does hear that a lot.
And as me thinking like, it's frustrating because I swear I'm like the most like
chilling,
down to earth person.
And so
it's almost like, and you know, kind of going back to modeling, like that's kind of like not necessarily my alter ego, but that's how I like. It's an act for me.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
So I remember
love it.
like being young, like watching America's Next Top Model, and she was like, you whatever like photo shoot you do, you feel that emotion and you express yourself. So I just perfected that. Like, okay, the photo shoot is about love. Okay, you're gonna see it.
And she does.
See it in my eye. You know what I mean?
Like you can truly feel whatever it is.
Right there.
Oh my gosh,
so
they definitely got that down pat for real. They do when it comes to like their modeling and stuff like that. But it's like it's a whole different level that Fola takes it to. Like, cause hers be like selfies, like done by herself, but hers be like a whole photo shoot setup and stuff like that. Like I'm talking, like it just blows my mind. It really does. Like it just be like, oh my god, like I really thought she was a professional model before I met her. Like professional.
On my iPhone, y'all.
Like bro,
Trust
I swear
me,
I really did. I really
swear,
did. When you got it, you got it. Exactly. Like for real.
That's true.
Like for
That's
real.
true.
Yes. And I definitely want to go into that conversation though real quick, because that was this thing for me with both of y'all, was that it was intense. It was intense aura. It was intense, and I was intimidated. Like Dina already knows this. I was intimidated by meeting her, even though we already went to high school together. We actually went to high school, but we never talked. We never talked.
What?
We literally just became friends.
That's divine
When
timing.
I met you, I had just became friends with her. Literally. I had just became friends with both of y'all at the same time. And it's crazy.
God.
Literally, and it's crazy because I'm so glad I got to show
know
this.
Gemini.
No, like
I'm Aquarius.
yeah, exactly. Like, bruh. Like, and when I found out she was a Gemini, we're not gonna speak on that. But it's so crazy because I literally we literally became friends at the same exact time. I became friends with both of them at the same time. And I feel like that was just because that was the type of energy that I was desiring and wanting for my life. I wanted empowered women who were themselves, who were boss women, who were, just a whole vibe. So because that's what I was trying to be. A lot of people didn't know that that's what I wasn't. I wasn't that. And whenever I became friends with y'all, I was still healing from my ex-boyfriend who I found out was married.
Yeah.
I was very, very much so still healing from that. Yeah. And so when I met them, it was just an inspiration. It was just, when I became friends with them, it was just an inspiration. And it was just something that I aspired to be that empowered goddess that I see. Yes. And now, you got it. You got it.
And it was there all along.
It was.
You know what I mean?
It definitely was.
And that's the part of having the self journey. And we reflect it as through our locks, but sometimes you need that extra, knock on the door from somebody. You know what I mean? That it was there all along.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm happy for
Sometimes you gotta take a couple wounds so your inner light shines through.
Exactly.
Yes. Absolutely.
Stabbings and hurting, so that may have felt like a bad situation, but that situation may have been what you needed for your
elevation. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I needed you guys. You guys came at the right time, and it helped me to do. And I was honest with her last week. I'm gonna be honest with you, Fola. That's why I did not reach out to you as much, because it was so and I just loved her vibe so much, and I knew that she was such a beautiful, inspiring person. But it was so intense for me, because I'm like, what am I feeling? I feel like this is a lot of pressure just to be around you. I'm feeling what everybody else felt, to be intimidated by you. And I felt like this originally with her as well, and then once I got to know her, of course, then it was instant chemistry. And for us, it was I was so busy focusing on her and our friendship, and I was so focused on my other friendship as well. So it was okay, I'm pouring so much into these, to get a third one. I wanted to so bad.
I feel you.
Yes.
Divine timing.
Yes, and divine timing, that's really what it was. And I really wanted to not come into my own before I became closer to you, but I feel like I needed that.
Yeah.
Because I had to do a lot of self-reflection in order to now I'm just okay, all right, I feel amazing about myself.
Yeah.
And I can be on that level with you to where I feel empowered as well, and so we can be all that together. And
I love that. Yeah. That's real talk.
Yeah, definitely.
And I felt that way too.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
it's like, you know, I'm coming from the receiving end. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't even, like, sometimes I don't even mean to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes it is, and that's like accepting, you know, your order. Sometimes, you know, the crown is so heavy, you know, you're walking in your authority, but you don't, sometimes you're like on the outside and you're like, well, I'm just a normal person. Like, I got my own hurts and my own, you know, past stories.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, from the receiving end, I'm like, oh, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
But I, like, everything's divine timing because
Yeah.
I needed to be in that alone place.
Right.
Because there was some correcting that I needed to do.
Oh, okay, okay.
You know
So,
what I'm
like you
saying?
said,
So,
divine timing,
so
definitely.
it's divine timing,
Definitely.
and it's a receiving because, you know, sometimes it's a give and a
Yes,
take. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Okay, I love that because now we hear it, and it's good, and I love it. Okay, so did we? Yes. I don't know what else I was about to say. I forgot what I was about to say. Okay, so we kind of talked about a lot of energy. Okay, coming into our powerful goddess selves. Okay, so like I know we talked a lot about us coming into our spiritual enlightenment. So like when did that start for you?
I want to say about 2 years. I really don't keep track,
Right.
honestly. 2-3 years. After ending a relationship.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, same. Like for same.
And then it was like I had to undo a lot of religion. Like I was like raised in the church, and so like
I wasn't raised in the church, but I went through it.
Yeah. So like
Wednesdays, Mondays, and Sundays.
yeah,
literally.
Bible study prayer and
Twice on
Sunday.
Sunday. Twice on Sunday.
Bruh.
Monday. Yes.
Literally.
God.
So, like, I feel like after even, you know, like a failed marriage, I kind of was like, okay, I did everything right.
Ooh.
I did everything
That
that
part.
I'm supposed to do. I got this, you know, whole facade of, oh, I'm a Christian girl, oh, blah, blah, blah.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
like,
She
after
preaching. She
like
preaching.
shit just hit the fan. Sorry.
No,
you
yeah.
fine.
Okay. After shit just hit the fan and thinking I was so self-righteous, I finally was like, okay, none of this is working. Like none of this. And so I just started like really, I love knowledge. Like I love research. I love psychology. That's even like in even in college, like I love social psych and all that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on what I like. After I started digging, and then even like certain things that my ex-husband, he had like brought up to me.
Ooh, hold up.
Yes.
Ex-husband,
Yes.
on spiritual
Right.
walk at the same time.
Right.
They threw us into that spiritual walk.
Literally. And the timing, it's crazy because our timing is all the same. Like literally, that's wild. That's
Right before the
wild.
pandemic.
Right. Like woo.
And he had like mentioned some stuff, and and back then I was like, boy, hush, like that's the devil. Yeah. Like, I remember, and you know, I give him 2 kudos for that because like honestly, some of the stuff he like had said back then like recircled around, and now I understand. And so like really, I just kind of was like, it was really just like at a place of surrender. Like I was like, I'm tired of doing it my way. I'm tired of doing religion's way. Like I'm literally just not happy.
Yeah.
In the core of me, like when nobody's around, my kids, you know, all these expectations, you know, parents and all that. I'm not happy. So what it is, you know, what?
Right.
Let me get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
So I like spent a lot of time with myself, like a lot of time, and it was lots of tears cried.
Of
You know what I
course.
mean?
That
and
part.
Spiritual cleansing. You
Spiritual
have to cry it out.
cleansing, yes.
Cry out all that
Crying
trauma,
is
cry all
so
that-
beautiful. Like, I mean, I'm a Cancer, so crying is so big for me. Like,
Yeah.
I cried. When did I just cry? I cried just a minute ago when we were talking about what did did you not see me wiping my eyes?
Oh, you did.
And I said I had chills. Like literally a tear came down my eye. Like because things are so emotional and
Yes.
so passionate for me
Yeah.
as a Cancer.
Yeah.
Like. And I'm okay with that. I love it.
Exactly.
I love it. So yes, I do cry a lot. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
okay. Like, yeah, right. Like it's alright.
For real, like seriously, it's emotion, like energy in motion. So it's all in how you redirect that energy, transmute that energy.
Yeah.
And so, you know, going back to like being intense, like I was super intense for the wrong reasons. Like, it was always for somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
So I just kind of like inverted that. Like, I'm going to put that energy to me. And so, and then being part Nigerian, that really kind of was like, I need to figure out who I am on my, you know, my dad's side. Because I've, you know, been grown up black or more American. Like, I was like, you know, my dad, he told me all this, why, you know, and now just like, that's who I am. Like,
Right.
literally
like
in my
your
blood.
name, your name says it all, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who knows
and so-
what like family lineage, like I just believe that, okay, you know, there's these things such as generational curses and stuff like that, and that is both paternal and maternal. Those are different bloodlines, and then both are flowing within you.
Right.
So
right.
it's like
That's a lot.
understanding,
That's a lot.
what you're dealing with
Yeah.
this lifetime.
Right.
From that end,
Exactly.
Yeah.
it's deep.
Yeah. So I'm really just kind of, for I think the last 1 to 2 years, I kind of was just like more intro, and then like, of course, you know, like Facebook gives you the throwbacks and stuff, and I was like, I was like so hyped and like a religious guru.
Yeah.
And like, I felt like my ancestors was like, this is because you're supposed to be a certain thing and a certain speaking and a certain public influencer. And I was just doing it for, at that time, the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
But it definitely helped.
It helped.
It helped so much. I can definitely
Yeah.
same with my Christian experience.
Yeah.
It got me closer to children.
Yeah.
It got me to speak to them and get closer to them
Yeah.
and have an understanding that adults would not understand about them because they didn't feel like they had a safe space to talk, and I love that, and it helped me to find my passion and my purposes. And so I totally respect that.
And I think from an end of it too, like coming into your own relationship with God, source, universe, however you want to name it, it came with first seeing how other people, 'cause, you know, there were times where I would question, you know, oh, he's vengeful.
Right, because that don't make sense.
He's a jealous.
That's not favorite.
But he loves me unconditionally. Like,
Right.
what? So I can be like you're saying, I can be vengeful and still love
Right.
somebody.
Yeah.
I can be, you know,
It was very confusing.
jealous.
Yeah.
But then he says not to envy. Like, you know, it just made.
It was very contradictory.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I needed to ask those questions.
Right, and
so
they
that I
hated
can-
the Christian community. Hated it when you ask them questions.
Yeah.
Bro.
But it's because I feel like they don't understand.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't have the answers.
No,
They don't.
And once you go inside, because you know he made us all in his image, so I feel like I can search within me to kind of find him. And once
That
I
part.
sat in that, the love that my God shows is truly unconditional. It's not judgmental.
Yes.
It's not self-serving.
Exactly.
It's not self-righteous.
Exactly.
It's very much so the best feeling that I have ever felt to know that.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, so
Exactly.
Yes.
it's just like, y'all ain't doing him no justice.
Not at
He's so
all.
much better than what y'all
Not at all.
say.
They really not. Like, for real though. Okay, so since we're talking about our vibes, and we were talking about we were talking about earlier protecting our peace, and that is so big, especially in the spiritual community, as goddesses, as mothers. Like, you know, we gotta protect our children, and a lot of people, like, they're so focused on that, like protecting my kid from this and this. But what about yourself? What about your inner self? What about your peace? Like, people don't understand how much more valuable, how much more important that is, because the kids are off doing their own thing. You know what I'm saying? But your peace is literally always with you.
And you're not
Always.
doing them any good if you're not in a state of peace.
Right.
You can't bring peace to them.
No,
Exactly.
they're gonna feel that. They're gonna
Exactly.
absorb that energy.
Exactly.
Like, you know, and it really sucks because when I was pregnant with my first daughter, Soraya, I was, me and her dad were broken up at the time. And for the entire pregnancy, literally like 7 months of the pregnancy, we were broken up. And I was so depressed. I was so depressed. And that was the one thing that I truly hated about being pregnant, was that because I knew she could feel my energy, and that there was no way out of me to get out of that depression. You know what I'm saying? Because I just was not happy with myself. I wasn't happy like at all in that stage of life. And so that right there was like the worst experience for me. And I hate that for her, but she's such a beautiful light, and I can be that example now. Exactly. And I feel like it's definitely made her very much so more in tune with people's feelings, because she's very much like, Mom, let me take that off your plate. Like, I see you, you feel stressed, and I'm just like, oh my God, that's beautiful. You know? And so God turned that into a blessing for her. Definitely.
I love that.
So like, yes, and so protecting your peace, what does that look like for you?
So being honest. I've always been like just an honest person, and so like, you know, going back to even with the parenting of my kids and switching, I just kind of told them like, hey, this is how Mom is. Like, I ain't gonna switch up. I ain't gonna like. This is how I like my stuff this way. Like, and I just like every day I would do like, okay, this is how you're gonna piss me off, or this is how you're gonna make me mad. Like I'm straight up, because it's like, I'm gonna be with them for the rest of their lives. Exactly, so I want us all to like mutually benefit and mutually
know and understand each other, and to know how to be considerate of one another too. Exactly, love that.
So being honest and communicating. I'm such a big communicator. Like, I probably communicate too much. You know, like, and that could be
right. No, there's really not.
Yeah, and I recently even got into like within the last 6 to 7 months, crystals. That's how I protect my peace. I love music, sound therapy. I have done counseling or therapy sessions to protect my peace. And also when to say no, when to like not necessarily be avoided, but don't go places if I know that's gonna, you know, fuck with my anxiety. You know what I mean? So I always peep the vibe first. I always peep people, you know, that's how I protect my peace. And then journal. I love journaling. I doodle. I draw. You know.
Yeah, and she's such an amazing artist too. Like the creativity level on this woman don't make no sense. I took her to a painting sip, and the woman came out with a damn Leonardo da Vinci, and I'm like, what? And so I literally, she wouldn't let me pay for it. So I threw money in her car and ran. I took off with the painting. Yes, like I took off with the painting because she would not let me pay for it. I was like, I want it, and she said, here, you can have it. I said, what the fuck? No. And so I threw money in her car and took off running. And she tried to chase me. I was like, I was in heels too.
My ankle was wild. I was like, girl,
I was in heels too. I was like,
it ain't even worth the same ankle, girl.
Oh my God. Yeah, she was like, damn, she can run a hill. Literally. I was like, I do this. Oh my gosh. Okay. So so we were discussing that as well. So what does that look like for you, Dina? Because I know this is definitely something that we are learning and growing with in our friendship.
So I struggle sometimes with protecting my peace because I'm such a people pleaser. And as I'm learning, that's not the way to be. You have to protect your peace in order for you to please someone, or in order for you to give to other people. So for me, my hardest thing is I literally had trouble saying no. I remember having a date with a guy, and he literally was like, I was like, I just can't say no. And he was like, no, you're gonna say it. Like, say no. And I'm like,
y'all can't really see that look on her face. That was like,
I can't say it. Like, it just doesn't. It's hard for me because I'm such a giver. When it came to energy, it was so much so like, okay, you're meant to do this for the world. You meant to do this for people. You make me feel good when I'm around you. And so I got
that's
to
the
point,
hardest part too. When they tell you that.
So
And so you want to be around them. Like I came to heal the earth, so I'm about to be with you, and I'm about to heal your ass. Let me just sit here and protect my energy. But no, like you can.
You can't.
No,
because I would go home at the end of the night and be empty. Because my cup was just gone. They're happy. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Facebook. It's like a little Facebook video, and the guy is filled in black. and he's like, do his little drawing.
Yes, and he goes, every time he goes to a person,
he gives the ball to a kid. Then he goes white a little bit. He goes black a little bit. He goes black a little bit. Yeah. And then he goes and saves somebody's cat out the tree. Then he gets a little bit darker. And then at the end of the day, he's like,
yeah, he's just completely drained.
But he's helped so many people along the way.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt.
Right.
So I had to get to a point where I was like, okay, is it taking more than I have to offer?
Yeah.
Where does my cup need to be in order for me to function properly and be at peace?
Yeah.
And for me, that's about half full.
Yeah.
So I had to learn, once I get to half full, I have to start saying no.
Yeah.
I have to start setting boundaries. I have to start doing the things that don't feel comfortable, but that are necessary.
Yeah.
In order for me to replenish myself, because it's easy to replenish from a half full cup, depending on how you look at it. Look at half empty, half full. It's easy to replenish from a half full cup, but how can I replenish myself when I'm empty? I need someone to pour into me.
Yeah, right.
You know?
So sorry, guys.
No, you're
so what are the signs that like you know that you're half full?
I say
Like what? Yeah.
it
it
manifests
physical?
physically a lot of the times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll start getting anxious.
Yeah.
Have a lot of anxiety, have some depression, tired.
Yeah.
I'll feel very, very
Definitely.
fatigued.
Definitely tired.
Irritable. I'm a super nice person. Like I'm super calm, mellow, and nice. But I notice when I get irritable, it's because I'm always
Yeah.
and if I feel, I just don't feel like myself.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it had to get to the point where that's when I have to withdraw into hermit mode.
Yeah.
Hermit mode.
Yeah.
And we gotta pick ourselves back up no matter what that looks like.
Exactly.
I feel like there's a pogo stick inside of me. Like that's how, like, in my stomach and in my heart, just like in my mind, whenever I'm not at peace, like that's just what it feels like. It just feels like
Okay.
like that. And you really,
Right.
exactly. And you really can't. You wouldn't even be able to tell. Like
Yeah.
with me, you wouldn't even be able to tell.
Functioning,
High
high
functioning.
functioning anxiety.
Yes, definitely. Like you really would not be able to tell. But I'm very honest about it. And
Right.
once I'm honest about it, then I feel so much better and I'm able to talk things through or whatever. But I can feel other people's, energy, and as we all can.
Yeah.
And that right there I'm definitely trying to figure that out. Like, okay, before you stepped into this room, I felt fine.
Yeah.
So obviously you coming in here, it's not me, it's you, and definitely having to separate those two. So for me, protecting my energy, it's being authentically me. Like that right there is the number one most important thing to me, and I love her so much just because she wants me to be me, but she doesn't know how to be her around me because I'm so
polar
crazy.
opposites.
Complete opposites, and I'm crazy as hell. She does not know what she's gonna get ever. She never knows what she's gonna get with me.
And I'm so controlled that I feel like I can easily project that and make her feel boxed in.
Oh,
but
I see.
Yes, but
Okay.
it really is,
I
and
love
it's
this dynamic.
yes, and we're figuring this out, and I love it. I love that we're figuring this out. Like I really do, and I just have it makes me have so much more respect for her and for our friendship, just because like we've been through so much, and we're fighting through it, and we're working on it. Just like you said, communication, definitely, and just she allows me to be me, and that's everything to me. Just because I haven't had that,
That's golden.
Oh, it's such a beautiful
relationship. You do have to know what's important to the person that you love, and then there is allowing them to an extent. Like I'm totally fine allowing myself to get to have, but knowing that you're whole, you know what I mean? And then stepping back, replenishing myself, but knowing that you got to be yourself is a powerful thing to you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
You know what I mean? Like it makes me happy to see you happy.
Right.
Yes, especially when the world will try to not let you be authentic. But want to be
they
you.
be really
but
trying
want
to
to be you.
They want to be. It's so crazy because they really be coming in my inbox like, you shouldn't say that, or you shouldn't talk like that, or you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Like, and I'm like, first of all, this is my Facebook page. Like, I'm going to speak on what I want to speak on, and not only is it going to benefit your raggedy ass because you can't be authentic, it's gonna benefit me because I am authentic, and I'm going to speak my truth. And like, and this is the thing, a lot of people don't understand, and these are the hurting people.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that just because one person is speaking their truth, it does not have to negatively impact you. It does not have to take away from your truth. Your truth can be yours, and mine can be mine. And like, when people have that understanding, it makes things so much better, so much easier. And yeah, I mean,
and my vibe ain't gonna be your vibe. So like, you know what I mean? If my vibe is what I say, why are you in my inbox? You're trying to tell me what I can't say when it's not affecting you.
And yet you still following me. So obviously you interested in something like
they
like
wish that they could speak on themselves.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, you would be unbothered by someone speaking their truth if it didn't bother you that you couldn't speak your truth.
Right. And that's the thing, because I say a lot of things that bother a lot of people. And that's okay, because I'm going to talk about things that people don't want to talk about because they should be talked about.
Yeah.
They should be talked about. Uncomfortable conversations. Real talk.
And then you have the emotional balance to deal with it. You
that
know what
part.
I mean? Like the discernment of who to kick rocks with.
Yes.
You know? And
absolutely.
who to, like, you know, okay, I'll catch your back for a little bit. You know what I mean?
That is so important.
You know?
That is so important to have that understanding. Yes, absolutely. Let me see what else I got, and then we can wrap this up. Okay, I think that's it. Nope, that's it. That's all I got.
Well, I love your hat. What is it?
I know, it's so cute. Y'all can't see it. It's so cute. It is so
I
cute.
love it. Yeah,
I know. I see it.
It's like a bursting lotus. It's really cute.
I will say, because I did not get to speak on this. We talked about y'all's crown, and so I definitely want to talk about my crown, because that is important to me, and I know it's so interesting. It's so interesting because I'm mixed. I'm biracial, white and black. You know, my mom, blonde hair, blue eyes. You know, like, I'm talking white.
Her mom knocked on the door one time, and I didn't know it was her mom.
Bro, I have so many funny stories like that.
I'm like, and no offense to anybody, but who's that white woman? I'm just gonna go in.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
this is my best friend. She's like, oh, I'm Shanequa's mom. I was like, oh.
Right, like,
Okay,
what?
we can both go in.
Right, yes, it was so awesome. It was so funny. And like, another really freaking hilarious story about that is my ex-husband. When he first came to my place to meet me, and my mother and my grandmother were both there, and these are two white women, blonde hair, blue eyes, like, and they both opened the door, and they're like, and so he's just like, I must have the wrong house.
My God.
And they were like, no, you're David, right? And he literally instantly went to, is this Get Out? I was dying. Not Get Out, though, not Get Out. He said he was so afraid. I was like,
I would have recorded
oh my God. Yeah, this is so funny. And
I would have went to the door and been like, they got us.
Oh my God, it's big facts. Oh my God. So yes, and so that's so freaking. I love telling that story, you know. But yeah, and so like, and then they're just like, oh no, like, we're Shanequa. I'm Shanequa's mom, Shanequa's grandma, you know. And they love to do that to people too. They love doing that. They just think it's hilarious. Yeah, they do. They think it's so hilarious. And so I came out and I'm like, hey, like, I'm right here. It's all good, you know, whatever. It's a safe space, like, you know, telling them all that and stuff. But definitely, so I grew up with my white mother, and my dad a little bit. My dad is black. I grew up with him only a little bit. I only got to see him like once or twice a year, not much or whatever. So I wasn't raised in the black community, you know. And I have a huge black family. Like, I mean, we got like over 80 great grandchildren, you know, from my big mama, you know. I mean, that's amazing. That's beautiful, because she had 10 kids, you know. So, and it's interesting because I didn't get to grow up around them, you know, the way that I would have wanted to, because, you know, like, when you grow up with my mom and it's a single parent household and it's just literally me, my mom, my grandma, and my sister. That's it. That's literally all we had. But then you had this huge black family that, like, I did not get to experience that. And when I came around them, you know, I felt very off. I felt very different, of course. But going to school, just being the person, I grew up on East Side Tulsa. You know, so it's actually more diverse than majority of the areas. You know, because like South Side is very white, black. North Side is very black, and then West Side is. We're not talking about the West Side. We're not talking about the West Side. And then you got the East Side, and it's like more Hispanic and mixed and blah blah. But whenever, very. But when I was growing up, the middle school that I went to, there was only like 5 mixed kids at my school. And one was my sister, and one was me, and one was my cousin.
Oh, wow.
So it was so interesting to see that, and literally everyone's just like, oh, is that your real hair? Literally, I get this on the daily. Is that your real hair? Like, for real, like, you know, and I'm just not knowing, literally until I became an adult, I did not realize how, like, for a black person, like, for this to be like, that's your real hair. Like, I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, I'm like, well, I don't get it. You know, I really did not get that. And so that a lot of my identity went into my hair because of that, because there was such a reaction to it. And I love, and me, being an attention seeker, of course, like, I'm gonna go where the attention is or whatever. And so literally whenever I cut my hair like this short it was a really cute bob. But whenever I cut my hair, and this girl recommended it to me, and I'm not gonna speak on it, but I'm just gonna say that when she I don't think that her intentions were great. I'm gonna say that. I don't think her intentions were great. But yeah, so whenever I cut my hair, literally all the attention went away.
You know, you're not the only person that says that. I had a friend in high school, and she'll know who I'm talking about when she sees this. Very, very, I would easily argue the prettiest girl in school. Hispanic girl, very, very
Hispanic
pretty.
Girl, okay.
Yes.
I think I know what you're
Yes, or
okay.
Mexican, technically. Very, very pretty. And when she cut her hair, I was thinking, she's bomb. Like, she look bomb. Like Kim K. Like, you know what I mean? Yes. But she would say, I feel like I'm not getting as much attention from the guys as I used to. So that goes to show.
But back then and back in those days, they were hyping that up. Like music videos, all that, like, all that stuff or whatever.
Like that inches.
Yeah, exactly, right. They was hyping all that up. And it's crazy for me because me personally, I've always been a chocolate fan. So when I would see these beautiful black women and they're chocolate, and I would see them and I'm just sitting here drooling, and they're sitting there looking at me and like, oh, she's got it all, and I'm like, me? What you talking? Well, hold up, what you talking about? Just because these rappers or whatever are sitting there talking about, the yellow bone and stuff like that, I wasn't even comfortable in my own skin. But that's also because I wasn't black enough for the white people, and I wasn't white enough for the black people, and of course I didn't necessarily fit in with the Mexicans, even though my best friend was Mexican. Shout out to her. But for 6 years my best friend was Mexican, and so I got very close. But she only hung around with blacks, so that was very confusing as hell. So
I think that that's definitely something that we're gonna need to have as another topic.
I agree.
Blaze, quick. Sorry, y'all.
I agree.
Yes, because that's such a deep thing, and then from both perspectives, the way you say you don't, and you're gonna know where I'm going with this.
Like, I get both perspectives.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
it's so deep and so rooted, and it goes so far back.
Right.
And it's just presenting itself currently. It's something we're having trouble as a whole, as a community, as a people, just in general, shaking. There are so many different perspectives. From that,
definitely. Because
I
never felt like I fit in. Never. And that just,
you get picked on for being light. You get picked on for being dark. You get
picked on from all the way around. Right. It's so true.
That's crazy that you said that, because I just seen a girl on TikTok, don't know, but she was mixed, and she's like, when I'm mixed and I'm light skinned, and growing back then, my mom did my hair like black, so she had showed her pictures of her having cornrows and doing all our black styles, and it's like, because you are.
Yeah. And you are.
Because you
Right.
are. And
You
I
are.
think it's just because there's not a lot of support.
No.
You know what I mean?
That part.
And if we,
That
like,
part.
that's what
You got
part of
jealousy.
coming together
Right.
Yes.
Right.
as a sisterhood,
Yes.
and empowering
And not
each
just a
other.
sisterhood, because we need them brothers.
Brotherhood too.
Ooh,
Okay.
that
You know what I
part.
mean?
Okay.
Right.
Yes, for
Right.
real.
'Cause sometimes they cause
Yeah.
the division
Oh, yeah.
a lot.
Yeah,
True.
they do.
Yeah.
They're kind of the ones that are, just like you said, causing the division. They're the ones that are sitting there speaking on it and making us feel like we gotta sit here and be this way with each other. And it's
Just
not
tell me on people, because I hate when a man, and I get this a lot, instant
Right.
turn off. You already know I'm
I already
Yeah.
know.
You are so pretty for a dark skinned girl.
like, what does that mean? See, somebody posted that too. I think Lizzo spoke on that. She was like, what do you mean I'm so pretty for a big girl?
Right.
No, like,
No, I'm
nigga,
pretty,
I'm pretty,
period.
period. Like,
Yes.
like, what?
Literally,
What?
period.
Like, period. Oh my gosh, yeah. So,
I feel like we definitely need to hear your side, because like there's like, you can change a lot of perspectives just being mixed, like, and because there's even different type of textures in the mixed community.
yeah, literally,
You know
I
what I'm
have
saying?
4 daughters, and we all 5 have different hair. All 5 of us have different type of, like, I literally had to figure out how to do 4 or 5 people's hair. Like, I didn't even know how to do my own, because it was just like, what, like, and that's one thing I will say is a blessing, is that I can literally wake up and my hair, I
Wash it, go.
wash, like, I ain't even gotta wash, brush it, go, or just throw it in ponytail, go. Like, that I will say that is a blessing or whatever. And I did not realize how significant that was, you know, until black people started telling me, like, they're just like, I can't do that. And I'm like, oh. Like, you know, like,
And then wash day.
Right.
It's just to be out. That was a whole day.
I didn't know nothing about that. And I will definitely say that this is so funny. Okay, so my daughters, God, they were supposed to get weave in their hair yesterday. This is for the first time. For the first time. I actually just got weave in my hair for the first time 2 years ago for my birthday. That was the first time ever. Luckily it was by my then best friend. And so she already knew I didn't know shit. Like, she already knew I came clueless. So she had everything prepared for me, blah, blah, whatever. I honestly couldn't even tell you anything about what happened. I just know I sat in a chair for a very long time. And that's literally all I know. But so my friend did my daughter's hair yesterday, or the day before, one of those. And she shows up, you know, because she came to my house, and she shows up and she's just like, okay, so where's the hair?
In the head?
Yeah, like it's there. Like, and she's like, you wanted this style, right? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, that's fake hair. Oh. And I'm just like this is so, it's still so very confusing and new to me, because like literally, so whenever I was growing up and stuff like that, and I'm sitting there seeing all these black girls with these like creative braids and long hair and wigs and stuff like that, I'm like, man, I can't do that. Like, I'm really sitting there, I can't do that. Like, how do they do that? You know, and I'm really not knowing, like, bro, that's not their hair. And I'm just like, I was so confused. And so when they would come to me and they would sit there and say like, bro, you can do so much with this. You didn't have 7 different styles this week. What you mean? like when you were Becky yesterday and Tashana the day before. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know where that came from.
Becky.
Exactly. Like
I had a flashback.
You know what I mean? I was like, ooh, her. But it's so funny, because I really and my former best friend, she really tried to explain to me hair, because she was a hair person. And I still do not get it or whatever. So she went ahead and my friend had to go ahead and braid their hair without the weave. And and it's super cute. I love it. They love it. They're so excited about it. So cute, yes. But that just goes to show you, I don't know shit about that experience. I really don't. Like, yeah.
I love that. That's a different perspective.
Yeah,
Because then I'm sitting here like, dang, I guess I was blessed, because I did at a young age. I had to figure out how to put my own weave in.
Yeah.
How to, you know what I mean? What do I do in between styles, between going to the hairstylist? How do I keep my hair moisturized? Why is it taking me 5 hours to flat out my hair?
Man.
And honestly, I could not. And I'd be really wondering, like, why do they need so much time? Like, and I'd be really sitting there wondering, not
like this
knowing.
big.
I really do not feel
like this big.
It's that curl over. Oh,
bro, like when we go out, like she be like, I need this much time, and I'm like, what for what? Like, what you like? Yes, and it's just so crazy because I you know, and having my black friends, I love you guys, and having y'all it's definitely like, okay, I'm seeing, you know, what's going on in the black community. I get a better understanding. Just like I said, I get that new perspective, you know, because I did not get to be raised around that. So I love that.
So we are definitely going to talk about this topic and more.
Yes.
At another time, because I feel like it needs its own segment.
Yeah, it really does. Yes.
Colorism.
All that.
All of that.
Yeah, all that, definitely. So we're gonna have Fola back.
Oh,
Gots to.
okay.
Gots to, yes. And we can dress up next time. We can dress up. No.
Y'all got to give me some time.
Gotta give
I'm
her
not making mission, y'all. Listen.
All she do is work. All she do is work. Yeah, that's all she
I
do.
love that.
Yes.
Prosperous.
She wanted it, she desired it, she manifested it, and when it came, she like,
I was
I'm
like,
tired.
I'm tired.
That's literally, I'm tired, y'all. She said, can I quit? I said, no. I said, no.
And then I'm adding law school into
Right, oh God. This
one.
woman, we can't even talk about that, but the woman made a post. I think I want to be a lawyer. I said, oh shit, here she go. Because I know her. And I said, babe, astronaut gonna be next. And she said, what all entails? And they're like, you know, I'm like,
Sky's the limit.
literally. Sky's the limit.
I picture myself with locks in the courtroom.
Oh my God.
I
love it.
Okay.
Division
must be.
And you know
Where were you
the fit.
today? November 5th.
And the fit's gonna be fire in that courtroom though. That part.
Period.
The fit's gonna be fire.
I need A1 suits.
Listen.
Okay.
Literally.
God.
It's being Mary Jane, but on crack. Look, lock edition. All the little friends, our little listen. Let them tell me that ain't professional.
Bro, how long we been doing this? I just need to see.
We at least on.
Oh my God, we've been here an hour.
An hour. 1 hour, 11 minutes.
We got 111. Bro, first of all, yes, 111. But secondly, we were only supposed to do this 30 minutes, y'all. We literally said 30 minutes because we both got so much to do.
Yes.
So,
I'm studying for the LSAT.
yes, thank you. Thank you for joining us for Tea and Tequila.